Hello, Laker fans. My name is Kobe Sato, and this is a Laker Holics live podcast. Thanks to the people currently streaming through YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. What a night for the Lakers, coming off probably the most disappointing loss of the season so far. Last game against Indiana, blowing a 17-point lead. Tonight, the Lakers had a 15-point lead against the Portland Trailblazers tonight, which they beat them tonight at Crypto.com Arena with a final score of 128 to 109. They are now currently 6-6 at home and 2-6 on the road with an overall record of 8-12, which is currently 12th in the Western Conference. This Blazer team came in with a record of 11-10, which was 7th in the Western Conference. They've been 3-7 in their last 10 games. They also came off a back-to-back against the Clippers tonight, down at the Motor Center up in Portland last night, which the Lakers have actually gotten the second end of back-to-backs against the Clippers the last 5 of 6 games against them. So a break there in the NBA schedule for sure for the Lakers. But other than that, Damian Lillard out tonight for the Blazers, the star for that team. Just pulling up the stat sheet already for tonight's game. Let's go ahead and pull that up for you guys. Okay, so here's the stats for tonight's game here for the Lakers. You could see that there were 5 Lakers in double figures tonight. AD had 27 points. The first game of the season where the Lakers won, where AD didn't have over 30. LeBron had 31 points. Good game from him. Good bounce back game for sure. I was interested to see how he was going to play after messing up his ankle last game. 31 points with 33 minutes, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. Efficient night from him tonight. Shot 18 for 12. Another great night behind the three-point line tonight from him tonight. He shot 6 for 8 behind the three-point line. 1 for 3 in terms of free throws. He was +8 from the field. Again, Anthony Davis had a great game tonight. 27 points out of 29 minutes. 12 rebounds for him. He had an assist. He went 9 for 17 from the field. He went 1 for 2 from the three-point line. Got to the free throw line 9 times. Made 8. Had 3 blocks tonight. So a good defensive game from AD as well. Had a steal. He was also +8 from the field. Austin Reeves, another good game from him tonight. He has really been shining these last few games. He had 22 points tonight from 35 minutes, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 7 for 10 from the field. Very efficient night from Austin Reeves tonight. Shot 2 for 5 from the three-point line, 6 for 8 from the free throw line. Austin Reeves has been a surprise this season in terms of getting to the free throw line. He's been really crafty, just getting to the rim. His handle has been sharp. Love what I've been seeing from Austin Reeves this season so far. Definitely in his breakout year in his second season. Had a block, a steal tonight. He was +10 for the Lakers tonight. The only Laker in terms of in the plus minus column field over 10 points and above. So great game from Austin Reeves tonight. Russell Westbrook, a decent game from him tonight. He didn't have any turnovers, which is a surprise for me since he's been turning the ball over almost every game now. But now we currently have Darvin Ham talking with the media following the Laker win to the Portland Trailblazers, 109 to 128.
Played with a guy like Austin before in college, and he just loves the hoop, man. Constantly working on his game, adding to his game, can score at 3 levels, and was huge for us tonight. Just a smart defender and really versatile offensive player. Can do a ton of things on that end. And just Thomas coming off, just being ready, setting good screens, rolling, constantly running in transition, battling on the post. And, Nurkic is no easy cover for anyone. And just to see him battle, come up with some huge rebounds and putbacks and whatnot, finishes. And both of those guys were huge, especially in the absence of Lonnie and Troy.
And to follow up on Thomas, you used him at the end of the first half with that bigger group or next to AD. You also made a three. Do you like that potential look for more minutes as the season goes on?
Absolutely. We'll see. Obviously a lot of these things are based on, we try to force our will with our rotation, but a lot of times, it's you can't fool yourself. Like, other teams are going to make you adjust certain elements of your rotation. So we're playing against a bigger, more athletic, physical team, then yes, if it's a smaller, way much faster team, and then we have to make our proper adjustments. So tonight he was able to be out there, and he did very, very well.
Darvin, to begin with, Troy and Lonnie, do you have any sense of their availability come Thursday in Milwaukee or Friday in Milwaukee?
Not as of right now. They'll be reevaluated in the morning.
And then you guys won 6 out of 8. You showed some temerity bouncing back from what happened against the Pacers, and you have this big road trip coming up. Through 20 games, how are you feeling about your group and the challenge ahead?
I'm very encouraged. I'm very excited. Basically, a fourth of the season is out of the way, and we're just now starting to get all the way whole. And then tonight, going into the game, we lose 2 more guys, but overall, I'm pleased. The guys are embracing it. They had a lot of fun playing today. They played the right way on both sides of the ball. I'm very, very highly encouraged.
Darvin, AD in the fourth quarter, I think he had 14 points. How much time did you guys spend talking about making sure kind of a repeat of the 2 shots, not a lot of touches, that didn't happen again?
Well, it's just not a matter of conversation. I think it's just a matter of knowing that this guy is the focal point, and he's the guy that's going to make everyone else's life easier. Bron is going to be Bron. Bron was huge tonight, made a lot of shots. Again, Austin played his butt off. Russell was great off the bench. But, AD, we have to keep him in rhythm constantly. He covers up a lot for us defensively, getting boards, putbacks, post-ups, was great in the pick and roll, rolling to the rim, getting in the paint, getting to the free throw line. So that's basically the biggest thing, just him just feeding our epicenter. He's sort of like our epicenter in terms of what all he brings and the load he takes off everyone on that roster.
Darvin, you guys start this trip in Milwaukee. That's where you spent a big part of your career. What are you looking forward to the most going back there?
Man, it's an Italian place called Calderone Club. Shout out to the Vasari family, Gino, Mello, Frank, everybody. I'm looking forward to some penne salsicce.
Looking at the menu right now. Dave's fine, so you good.
That's penne pasta with Italian sauce. That's my favorite dish over there.
Darvin, to follow up on that, what is that going to be like for you emotionally, going back to the place you spent several years, won a championship?
I don't know, man. We'll see. Hopefully I don't cry like a baby, but that's, it's 50-50 right now. But just getting to go back, see, another part of my journey, another part of my basketball family, some people I love dearly over there. That's been huge for me in both my playing and coaching career. Being able to make history with those guys it's great. It's good to be able to build relationships like that, and that's a wonderful city. They've always shown me love, made me feel super duper welcome, and it reminds me a lot of home, of Michigan. I'm a Midwest kid, so I'm looking forward to it. But the game is another story. They're a hell of a team. So we're going to have to put our minds together and try to give our best shot and swing for the fences once we get on the court.
Hey, Darvin. AD with...
That was Darvin Ham following the Lakers' win to the San Antonio Spurs, again with the final score of 109-128. Breaking news from Shams Charania: the Lakers are waiving wing shooter Matt Ryan. Sources tell The Athletic. Ryan shot 38.2% from the three-point line, including a clutch shot to tie the game against the Pelicans back in November. This moves open a roster spot for the Lakers ahead of the December 15th trade date. Wow, that came unexpectedly. I was just talking to my fiance about this earlier about Matt Ryan getting waived possibly. So Matt Ryan being waived by the Lakers to open up a roster spot. So we'll see what happens with that. Not even able to leave the arena, and man got waived. That's crazy. But yeah, so thank you, Matt Ryan, for the efforts that you brought to the Lakers this season. Again, with the clutch three at the end of the Lakers Pelicans game to force the game into overtime. DoorDash came through for sure, but yeah, so tough news for Matt Ryan tonight, who got waived by the Lakers. But going back to tonight's win, just looking at Austin Reeves tonight, Darvin Ham again talking about the improvement that he's seen from Austin Reeves this season. Just looking at his stats for the season so far, you can see tonight he had 22 points against the Blazers, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. He was plus 10 from the field. Very efficient night from him tonight. He shot 75% from the field, or I'm sorry, not 75%. He shot 70% from the field tonight, 75% from the free throw line tonight. He had 22 points, 35 minutes out of the win tonight. You could see the last few games he's been playing pretty well. 13 points against Indiana. So love what I've been seeing from Austin Reeves so far this season, and the man's been having some confidence this season. So ultimately, love to see it from him. Last season, he was a good player in terms of knowing the right spots to be in, and a lot of people kind of compared him to Alex Caruso a little bit, who the Lakers ended up letting walk to go to Chicago since he took the money. So it's nice to see Austin Reeves thrive in his role and start to blossom into a good NBA, in my opinion, starter. We'll see if he ends up still starting when Troy Brown comes back into the lineup. He ended up missing the game tonight. He missed the game with foot soreness. Cole Swider was also out for the game with a navicular stress reaction on his right foot. For the Blazers tonight, Damian Lillard was out again with a calf injury. Josh Hart was also out tonight. He rolled his ankle last night, former Laker. Gary Payton III, also a former Laker. He was out tonight with abdominal problems. Nasar Little was out with a hip, and Keon Johnson was also out with a hip. Looking at the Lakers in terms of quarters tonight, you can see the Lakers won the first. The Lakers also won the second. They won the third, and they won the fourth tonight. So the Lakers had control of the game pretty much the whole entire game, except for probably the first quarter. You could see right here the differences in the game. There we go. Pulled it up. The Lakers' biggest lead tonight was 19 points. The biggest lead for Portland was 11, and again, that was all within the first quarter. The longest run was 11 by the Lakers. There was 9 lead changes, and 5 times the game was tied, but that was all within the first half. The second half, the Lakers pretty much controlled the game. Again, being up as much as 19. I know a lot of Laker fans in the third quarter, they weren't getting their hopes totally up yet because of what happened last game against Indiana, where they ended up blowing a 17-point lead and ultimately lost. So Lakers are on the road back to being 500. We'll see how they end up doing on this next current road trip coming up against teams in the Eastern Conference. The Lakers are going to play Milwaukee next Friday at 4:30 p.m. Make sure to follow us post game for that show. I will be going live for that as well. In my opinion, you can kind of mark that as a L, but hopefully Lakers come off on top on that game. Then they end up playing the Wizards, which that's Kuz's game to come out and shine. Former Laker Kyle Kuzma playing for the Wizards. That's a very winnable game. That's a game I feel like the Lakers have to get on this road trip. The Cavs, that you can throw that up in the air, but that's probably a game that the Lakers will probably end up losing. But if they can get one of the within the next 5 games, if they can get here, let me refresh this because it says that they play Portland today, which the games is already over. So the next 5 games, the Lakers play the Bucks, the Wizards, the Cavs, the Raptors, and the Sixers. If the Lakers can get one of the 2 games against either the Bucks or the Cavs, the Lakers will be in good shape, because I'm already kind of automatically checking the Wizards and the Sixers as wins, since the Sixers also are pretty injured this season. But now we currently have Russell Westbrook talking with the media following the Laker win.
Those can just be momentum lifting type plays, and obviously just trying to make the shot. But do you think that can have a tangible effect in the game?
Definitely, for sure.
Russ, you're 15 years into this. You've probably had maybe hundreds of teammates that were rookies in your time. You had Austin last year as a rookie, and now you're seeing his progression. A game like tonight, what are you seeing out of him, and then what does he bring to this team?
His ability to play the game the right way. It's hard to come by in this league, been around a long time. And he understands how to play, even at a young age. He knows how to play the game the right way, and when you do that, good things happen for you.
Russ, in the first quarter, the Stars got out to a bit of a rough start and seemed to take a little bit for you guys to maybe catch a rhythm. Did you feel like there was any lethargy hanging over from the last game and maybe sort of a hangover effect?
Nah, not for me.
Thanks, Russ.
That was Russell Westbrook following the Lakers win to the Portland Trailblazers, 109-128. The Lakers shot 49% from the field tonight. Good shooting night from them tonight. They shot 48 for 97 from the field. Portland shot pretty well tonight from the field as well tonight. They shot 47%, shooting 42 for 90. The Lakers tonight didn't turn the ball over as much as they usually do. They averaged 15 turnovers a game for the season so far. Tonight they only had 7, so good game from them in terms of their. The Lakers struggled tonight from the free throw line. Surprisingly, the Lakers have been pretty good from the free throw line this season, but tonight they only went 18 for 26, which is 69%. So not a great night from the Lakers there. Definitely want to get back in the flow of making their free throws. They out-rebounded Portland tonight, 48 to 45 with, let me go ahead and pull up this for you guys, where you could see the points in the paint was pretty even tonight, at 64 apiece. And with the Lakers going in against Portland, who has Nurkic, who's a pretty big and versatile big. It's not a surprise there with Anthony Davis playing the 5 most of the time. Speaking of bigs, it was nice to see Thomas Bryant getting some action tonight. I don't know why he fell out of the lineup in the first place. Going back to the roster tonight, let's go to Thomas Bryant. Tonight he had 14 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He was plus 11 from the field. Came off the bench, so good production from him off of 20 minutes tonight. He had 6 rebounds, so I love what I saw from Thomas Bryant tonight. I like the mixture of having Russell Westbrook on the court along with Wenyen Gabriel and Thomas Bryant. With Damian Jones falling out of the lineup, pretty much being unplayable, it's going to be important to have Thomas Bryant playing good productive minutes and being able to switch out the rotations. He's a big that can stretch out the floor and hit a 3. He made, how many 3s did he make tonight? He shot Thomas Bryant 1 for 3 tonight from the 3-point line. So he made one of his 3s, the first 3 he shot. So that was a positive sign for sure for the Lakers. Hopefully we see more of that from him. Wenyen Gabriel, he didn't shoot a 3 tonight. I kind of squint every time that I see Wenyen Gabriel shoot a 3. But Thomas Bryant, when he got traded over to the Washington Wizards after he was with the Lakers the first stint, he became a pretty good 3-point shooter for his career. As you could see here, he averages 34.8% from the 3-point line. So definitely good to see that from him tonight. As you could see, he was averaging 0% from the 3-point line up to tonight because he didn't make any threes. So glad to see that from Thomas Bryant for sure. But yeah, looking at the Lakers' next schedule, like what I was talking about before Russell Westbrook was talking, over the next 5 games, the Lakers have a pretty tough schedule. They play against the Bucks on Friday, which is up in the air. The Lakers have been playing better, so we'll see how they end up playing against the Bucks on the road, which the only team that they've beaten on the road this season has been the San Antonio Spurs, which is a subpar below 500 team who is known to be tanking pretty much. So can't really take those wins with a whole grain of salt. But great. It's going to be interesting to see how Anthony Davis matches up against Giannis Antetokounmpo, which a lot of people were comparing the two players the season that the Lakers won the championship back in 2020 and 2021, until Anthony Davis kind of got some injuries and didn't play well and kind of started getting a little passive. But this season, especially within the last 6 or 7 games, Anthony Davis has probably been one of the best players in the league. So it's going to be interesting to see how that matchup is. I'm looking for Anthony Davis to be aggressive to start off the game, hopefully, and hopefully they just feed him. They've been doing a pretty good job of feeding him at least the first 3 quarters. The fourth quarter, he kind of disappears. So that's really on Anthony Davis and LeBron. They gotta be more vocal about getting him the ball down low and not having so much ISO ball with LeBron. I didn't see it as much tonight, but we saw it a lot last game where there would be a lot of possessions where LeBron would hold the ball on top of the key for 6 or 7 seconds and jack up a 3, or he'll end up posting a player in the mid post and shooting a turnaround jumper, a turnaround 1-footer. And that's just not LeBron's game anymore. LeBron's not that type of player anymore to be an ISO player for long stretches in the game and be able to take you home. He might be able to do it in little increments, but in his 20th season, he's not built to be the number one guy on this team for the Lakers to win. They need Anthony Davis to step up and be that number one person. I can't talk about that enough. But yeah, then the Lakers also play the Wizards, who they have Bradley Beal and Kyle Kuzma on that roster, along with Kristaps Porzingis. So it's going to be an interesting game there. I think that's a very winnable game that the Lakers probably have to get on this road trip for sure. Then they end up playing the Cleveland Cavaliers, which you look at their roster, they have Donovan Mitchell on their team now. They have Garland. So that's probably gonna list. I'm probably gonna list that as probably a L. So against the Bucks and against the Cavs, if anything is bugging Anthony Davis or LeBron in terms of their foot or whatever, those are games that I would probably end up resting these players. And against teams that are subpar 500 or not the elite teams, those are the games where you want all players on deck to be able to produce and hopefully get some wins. That was the issue last season with this Lakers team, was that they weren't winning the games against subpar 500 teams, and they were also obviously losing against the great teams. Even though they always step up and they play up to their competition, they always play down to their competition as well. So Lakers definitely need to win against the Wizards and the Raptors for sure. And then I think they could probably steal a game against the Sixers, since of course that roster is pretty stripped right now. Most of the roster is injured, so we'll see what ends up happening. But looking at the Lakers coming into this game against Portland, let me go ahead and pull this back up for you guys. The Lakers were 17th in points per game at 112.3. Portland was 23rd in the league at 110.1. But the thing is their point difference. The Portland is minus 1.4, which is 23rd in the NBA. The Lakers are minus 2.2, which is 25th in the NBA. So not great there by the Lakers. Again, it is about a quarter through the season. Crazy to already say that. But the Lakers have been improving as the season has gone by. They have built some momentum. You're starting to see some light from them. They're definitely able to sneak into that 500 spot. Looking at the current standings in the NBA, let me go ahead and just pull that up in the Western Conference. You could see that the games aren't really separated by that much. Go ahead and refresh it one more time. You can see that the Lakers are currently tied for 12th right now in the Western Conference. They're really only 2 games behind the 8th seed, and going up to the 3rd seed, which is 8. They're only 4 games behind in the loss column to the 3rd seed Pelicans, which is crazy right now. The West it's so crazy that there's not really a separation between the two. So it's going to be interesting to see down the stretch where the Lakers end up. They went from saying are they a play-in team to now are they going to be a playoff team? So it's going to be interesting to see down the stretch what the Lakers end up doing, and with the news of them waiving Matt Ryan with the December 15th deadline, or not deadline, trade line coming up, where players who were signed this last offseason, a lot of them become eligible to be in trade. So it's going to be interesting to see what Rob Pelinka does with this roster going forward, who they end up trading, if they end up making any trades. Right now, the rumor going around within the Lakers front office is that they actually don't want to really make a Russell Westbrook trade. Now they want to do something more around Patrick Beverley, which he hasn't really been producing lately. But speaking of Patrick Beverley, he had a pretty good night tonight for his standard. Since being in Los Angeles, he had 6 points tonight. Not 6 points. That was Dennis Schroeder. He had 5 points tonight off 22 minutes. He had 4 rebounds tonight. Shot 2 for 7 from the field, 1 for 5 from the 3-point line. So he finally hit a 3 tonight. He had a block tonight, a steal. He was the only starter from the Lakers lineup that was -1. So that's me saying that Patrick Beverley had a good game tonight, and he was the only player in this starting lineup that was negative in the plus-minus column. So that kind of just tells you the type of season that Patrick Beverley has been having this season. Not a great season from him for sure. Looking at his career stats, let's go ahead and pull that up for you guys. You can see that there it is, Patrick Beverley. You can see his career averages here. He averages 8.7 points per game. He averages 4.3 rebounds, 3.5 assists, a half a block, which means he gets a block about every other game. 1.1 steals. He was a 37.5% three-point shooter, 41% from the field. Now he's only a 23.8% three-point shooter and 26.6 field goal percentage from the field, which is really bad. So not great. But now we currently have LeBron speaking with the media following the Lakers win to the Portland Trailblazers.
Basically became my primary defense for the rest of the game.
And then just second half, what did you guys do better and sharper than the previous games, obviously after blowing the lead?
Well, the difference between tonight and last game, we got into our sets offensively. Even when they scored, we didn't lower our heads. We got up the floor and got into our sets, gave ourselves a lot of time to execute what we needed to go through. Had the ball moving from side to side, no matter if we made or missed. We got some great shots.
Just the overall energy and cohesion of the group right now over this last, 2-3 weeks and heading into the challenge ahead. Where do you see things standing right now?
We want to continue to grow. That's all you can ask for. Had some struggles early, which we didn't want, but, it's all part of the process. So, we look forward to continuing getting better. Obviously, going on your first road trip when you have a new group, it's always challenging, but it's a beautiful thing, though. You get to continue to grow. You get to grow a lot, with one another. So I'm looking forward to it.
LeBron, Austin had a season-high 22 points tonight. He's been averaging 16 over his last 9, shooting 50, 40, 90. What have you seen from him over these last few weeks?
Just got back to doing what he was doing last year. And he's getting his role continues to grow on his team. We trust him. He knows that I trust him. And he goes out and just play his game. And that's a beautiful thing to see, especially for a young player to see his growth from 1 year to the next.
Bron, what did you see from AD in the fourth today? And is that kind of what you guys need, especially as teams try to make pushes that not just the easy baskets, but getting to the line and kind of extinguishing those mini rallies?
I think he was just himself in the fourth quarter. Like we had a lot of conversations yesterday. Yesterday was a tough day for us coming off that loss, and but we had a lot of great conversations on what we need to do to get better, how we can all be better individually. I made a point of emphasis to kind of make sure that AD was a point of that, especially in the fourth quarter. So he's too big. It's too big time for our team not to have the ball in his hands, or like you seen on the one when Dennis was able to drive and got the floater. The layup over Nurkic, he missed, and the AD cleaned it up off the glass. You saw the pocket pass from DS when he was able to get the and one over Justice Winslow. Just very active.
How about Mark Medina and we'll do last three.
Hi, LeBron. In light of this upcoming long trip, how have you, over the course of your career, approached long trips, both in terms of getting through the grind of that schedule, as well as using those moments to try to help galvanize team chemistry?
For me, the journey is all part of it. The journey and the process has always been part of it throughout my career. So, just always want to continue to get better and understand that, you never want to get too high, never get too low. Stay even killed throughout it all, no matter if you're losing or winning. So we want to continue to grow, and if we do that, we give ourselves a good chance to be the best team we can be.
Last three, Melissa, Eric, and then Rachel and Rachel.
Hey, Bron. Ever since, obviously, AD got here, it's been clear how much you've encouraged him to be him. When you were out, he was sensational, and obviously something comes with playing with you in terms of, it's hard for guys probably not to defer to a certain extent. Did you have a talk with him when you came back from that period about keeping that up, and what did that talk look like?
No. Well, we won a championship together. We don't. I think this is year 4 for us. I think maybe. Don't need to have a talk with AD about if I come back. You need to no. AD be AD, and we'll figure out around him. I'll figure it out. I'm okay with that, and I can do that. But we got to keep the ball in AD's hands, and when he's rebounding like he did tonight, when he's blocking shots, he's super engaged, and and it's our job as some of the guys, a lot of the ball handlers, mine, DS, Austin, Russ, to get him the ball, and we did that tonight.
Hey, LeBron, I've been fortunate to be around a guy like Kobe who changed his game late in his career. And you've been around such a long time. Have you had to adjust your game to your body as it's, I don't want to say age, but, mature? How's your game evolved?
My game has evolved, and I don't have to rely on super duper athleticism to be effective. Probably my first 12 years, my career, maybe 11. First 11, 12 years, I was just super duper athletic, and I can not be as efficient and not be as dialed in on the actual game, basketball game. I can go out and just figure things out. Once I jumped in the air, I knew my first few years, I knew if I'll take off, I was going to be up there a lot longer than you. You're just going to land before me. Then I'll figure it out after that. But I'm also smart enough to know that in order for me to be the best player I needed to be, I got to continue to grow my game. And a lot of teams and a lot of coaches helped me. Coach Pop helped me by going under pick and rolls constantly. Dwayne Casey and his defense that he had on me when we went against Dallas in the finals in Miami helped me. Rick Carlisle, part of that as well. So a lot of those coaches helped me get better because I knew that in order for me to be the best player I can be and one of the greatest of all time, I could not have no weakness.
Last question.
First of all, the answer to the question about how things have changed on road trips is that the wine has gotten more expensive.
I take it with me now.
Yes,
smarter.
exactly.
I'm a little smarter now.
Russell said he has never hit 2 buzzer-beating threes in a single game. What was it like to watch him do that? And does anyone else energize the whole team the way Russ does when he does something?
No, his energy is infectious. I mean, obviously, and he's been on his buzzer beater streak a lot this year. But to hit back-to-back, at the end of the second and at the end of the third, and then we have a fan to start the fourth quarter, hits another one. It's very electric in the building tonight. But Russ, his energy and what he plays with, his joy of the game is very infectious to our team. I got one question for you guys before you guys leave. I was thinking when I was on my way over here, I was wondering why I haven't gotten a question from you guys about the Jerry Jones photo. But when the Kyrie thing was going on, you guys were quick to ask us questions about that.
Okay.
Hold on. And I don't even want you guys to say nothing. When I watched Kyrie talk and he says, I know who I am, but I want to keep the same energy when we're talking about my people and the things that we've been through. And that Jerry Jones photo is one of those moments that our people, black people, have been through in America. And I feel like as a black man, as a black athlete, as someone with power and a platform, when we do something wrong or something that people don't agree with, it's on every single tabloid, every single news coverage. It's on the bottom ticker. It's asked about every single day. But it seems like to me that the whole Jerry Jones situation photo, and I know it was years and years ago and we all make mistakes, I get it. But it seemed like it's just been buried under like, oh, it happened. Okay, we just move on. And I was just kind of disappointed that I haven't received that question from you guys. Appreciate it.
That was LeBron James following the Lakers win to the Portland Trailblazers, again with the final score of 128 to 109. LeBron talking about the Jerry Jones thing at the end, along with Kyrie. So hats off to LeBron on just talking about racial injustice in terms of equality for everyone. Also looking at what LeBron was talking about in terms of his play along with Anthony Davis. You can see the averages so far. I went ahead and categorized it by points per game. Right now, Anthony Davis is still leading the team in terms of points at 26.2. LeBron is currently averaging 25.4. Like I've been talking about, I sound like a broken record. AD needs to be anywhere from 28 to 30 points per game for the Lakers to even be in contention this season. And in my opinion, for the Lakers to even do something to be in the consideration for quote unquote competitive, for Rob Pelinka to go out and do something and make this roster more competitive to compete for a championship. I get where Laker fans are coming from on the frustration on that of what do you mean that they want to see if the Lakers could be a better team on how they're currently playing, when the Lakers are the ones, or the Lakers front office are the ones that constructed this roster. Why would you expect to see how they're playing if they're going to be a team worth competing or worth trying to trade their first round picks to make a better team when they're the ones that constructed this roster? It just kind of doesn't make sense. But it's going to be interesting to see what the Lakers go after, or what they're currently going after, with in terms of they need some wing players. They don't have any shooting. Probably if they could fill up the 5 position, since our 5 spot is pretty slim right now. Like I talked about earlier, it's pretty encouraging to see Thomas Bryant having a good game for us tonight against the Blazers. If he plays good, it's there's a lot of variations of different lineups that you could have, as well as JTA, Juan Toscano Anderson, who's kind of fell out of the rotation. He didn't play tonight. He hasn't played the last couple of games, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens there for sure. Cole Swider, he ended up staying on the roster. He was probably the Lakers' best shooter in the preseason, so I don't even know the timetable of him coming back. I think he's going to be reevaluated in a week. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, the Lakers need some bigs, some wings. If they can get a wing defender or a wing who can defend and shoot, that'll be a big plus for the Lakers. They say that Russell Westbrook equals probably 3 good wing 3 and D players, which Russell Westbrook is playing good, but for $47 million, you need him to be playing great, not just good. So I would rather have 3 guards who are, or not guards. The Lakers already have too much guards on this roster. Rob Pelinka, if you're listening to this, please don't get more guards. But yeah, so the Lakers need to focus on getting some more 3 and D wings who are able to shoot. If you can get 2 or 3 of those in return for Russell Westbrook, the Lakers I think will be in good shape, and they could possibly be those quote unquote few players away from being contenders in the Western Conference, especially with the way that Anthony Davis has been playing, or what he's capable of showing, how he could play still. If you can consistently show that for a couple of more games, I think that the Lakers should pull a move as soon as possible to end up being somewhat competitive, especially with this current. I just broke down the Lakers schedule coming up. The Lakers have a tough road schedule coming up to January 4th. So within this stretch, the Lakers definitely could use some better players on this roster. They're in a good flow right now, so I feel like right now would be the perfect time. I know a lot of people have been talking about Darvin Ham's rotation, which I agree. I have not liked his rotations as of late. Tonight, I thought he did a better job of not playing the 4 guard lineup as much, which I'm glad I saw that from him tonight, making those adjustments as a first year head coach. Him taking accountability last game, I like to see that for sure from Darvin Ham. So, I would personally like to see Patrick Beverley getting out of the starting lineup and inserting Troy Brown when he gets back, or keeping Schroeder and inserting Austin Reeves into that lineup. I get Troy Brown was out tonight, so looking at this Laker roster, I would probably start Schroeder at the 1, probably Reeves at the 2, Walker at the 3, LeBron at the 4, and then AD at the 5. That's what I would go with if I was the Lakers, in my humble opinion. But talking about Lonnie Walker tonight, he had a quiet game. He had a decent game tonight as well. He had 15 points, 4 rebounds. He had an assist. He was +5 from the field. Lonnie Walker and Austin Reeves are probably the 2 most consistent Lakers guards on the roster this season. So definitely got to break down Lonnie Walker's game tonight. Pretty efficient for him as well. Of course, he was +5 from the field. And he didn't make that much noise tonight. Again, looking at his previous games, he had 9 points, 19, 18, 24, and 14. So pretty consistent from him so far. He's having a career year. Like I talked about last show, he's now currently averaging 16.6 point per game, shooting 47.7% from the field, 36.3% from the 3-point line. Just earlier today that he said he wanted to be a Los Angeles Laker for as long as possible, which that sounds quite familiar. We heard that from Malik Monk last season, saying that he wanted to be a Laker long term, and he ended up chasing the bag, which I don't blame him. Get your money, Malik Monk. But it'll be interesting to see this offseason if the Lakers are able to even retain Lonnie Walker, also along with Austin Reeves, which they only have for the rest of this season. So I'm going to be very interested to see how much Austin Reeves gets this offseason as well. He's probably going to be worth anywhere from 10 to 15 million. So going to be very interesting to see this offseason as well. Now we currently have Anthony Davis speaking with the media following the Laker win to the Portland Trailblazers.
I think we're clicking at the right time. Obviously, Troy and Lonnie was out, with their respective injuries, but I think this team is starting to gel on both ends of the floor. You know, we had a good conversation yesterday about our late game execution after what happened. And what's today, Wednesday? Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday's game. And we executed tonight towards the end of the game. So I think we're just, slowly chipping away. We know how good we are, but, we got to produce on the floor. So, we just staying together, staying locked in, and just trying to take it one game at a time.
AD, you talked about effort at the end of games, and it seemed like based on rebounding and some other things were happening that was there, but how much of tonight was about guys looking for teammates, not calling their own number, and sort of playing more balanced?
A lot. I mean, we try to play with the pass a lot. I think we did, like I said, it was all about execution. We didn't execute late game. We didn't get into sets. A lot of times it was our talent that was scoring and, not our execution. And tonight we executed to the T down the stretch, and we were able to find guys and play with the pass and trust one another. So, when you play like that, guys have rhythm shots, and it usually goes in, which is a lot different on Monday's game. So, guys are playing well. Guys are doing their part. We considered this a must-win game for us, especially after letting that one slip Monday against the Pacers. So, and you want to feel good going into a tough road stretch. I think all these teams are playing well. So, we want to feel good about ourselves and before we get on this road.
Lakers.
That was Anthony Davis following the Laker win to the Portland Trailblazers, again with a final score of 109 to 128. Looking towards the next game against the Milwaukee Bucks, you could see a little comparison side by side. You could see that Milwaukee kind of outgoes the Lakers in pretty much every category except for fast break points and points in the paint. So it's going to be an important next game for Anthony Davis to really have a good game. Like I talked about earlier, the battle between AD and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Chris Middleton is supposed to make his debut in the NBA back with the Milwaukee Bucks against the Lakers coming up. So we'll see how he ends up playing in the game. That's the Milwaukee Bucks' second piece. I think if he was healthy last season, Milwaukee probably would have made it to the finals and probably would have won the championship. So we'll see how the Lakers end up playing on Friday. Big test for them. So we'll have to see. Looking at the predictions for the last 10 games, I went 5-5. What was your guys' predictions? Go ahead and type below what your predictions were. Also, here are the Lakers' next 10 games. Go ahead and follow the Laker Holics profile on Twitter at Laker Holics LA. I went ahead and posted the Lakers' next 10 games. And comment below what you think the Lakers' next 10 games will be, your predictions, and I'll share some out next post-game show. But definitely going to be a tough stretch for the Lakers, especially coming up on the next five games. It'll be interesting to see if the Lakers do any types of moves or they end up sitting any type of players during the bigger games where the Lakers most likely will lose because they haven't been a great team, even though there is some optimism going around with them winning the last 6 of 8 games. I had a lot of optimism going into the end of the third quarter against Indiana until they lost that game. But tonight was definitely a must-win game, and they won that. So we'll see how the Lakers end up doing on this next road trip. So go ahead and comment on that, on you guys' predictions, and I will talk about my predictions next show. I have the Lakers going 0-1 on this next 10-game stretch. I don't think they're going to beat Milwaukee, but they beat them. That'll be great. If they could steal a game again against Milwaukee or Cleveland, it'll be a great road trip for them, for the Lakers. Going back to other scores around the NBA tonight. As you could see here, a big slate in the NBA tonight. The Hawks beat the Magic tonight, 125 to 108. You can see, let's see who led the team for them. Clint Capella had 12. Jarrett Culver had 12. So nice game from them tonight. Where's Trae Young? Trae Young had 30 points tonight, so big game from him tonight. Whoa, I don't know what just happened. All right, I'm just going to list out the scores. The Cavs beat the Sixers tonight, 113 to 85. Again, the Sixers are pretty beat down right now. The Celtics beat the Heat tonight, 134 to 121. I know Jason Tatum had a big game for them tonight. He had like 41 points at the end of the third quarter. He ended up finishing off with 49 points. Big game from him tonight. Looking at the other scores in the NBA, the Nets beat the Wizards tonight, 113 to 107. The Bucks beat the Knicks tonight, 109 to 103. Let's go ahead and click on that game since the Lakers do play the Bucks coming up. Giannis had 37 points, 13 rebounds, and 7 assists with 37 minutes. So that's who Anthony Davis is going to be going up against. So definitely want to have a big game from him. That game, Drew Holiday had 22 points off 34 minutes as well, with 6 rebounds and 5 assists. Bobby Portis had 10 points. Pat Connaughton had 10 points. Brooke Lopez had 9 points, 6 rebounds, and an assist. So it's going to be a tough battle for the Lakers coming up on Friday. Make sure to tune in post-game following that game. I will also be going live for the post-game show for that game as well. Looking at the other scores tonight, the Thunder beat the Spurs tonight, 119 to 111. The Timberwolves beat the Grizzlies tonight, 109 to 101. The Pelicans beat the Raptors, 126 to 108. The Suns beat the Bulls tonight, 132 to 113. Devin Booker went off tonight. He had a big night. I can't stand the Phoenix Suns, but got to get the flowers where it's due. DeAndre Ayton had 30 points tonight. Devin Booker had 51 points off 31 minutes, 4 rebounds, 6 assists. So big night from him tonight for sure. Looking at the rest of the scores for tonight, the Nuggets beat the Rockets 120 to 100. The Jazz beat the Clippers 125 to 112. The Kings beat the Pacers tonight 137 to 114. That's a high scoring game. And then of course your Lakers beat the Blazers tonight 128 to 109. And that ends up doing it for me tonight, Laker fans. Make sure again to catch the post-game show following Friday against the Milwaukee Bucks. It'll be an early game. They play at 4:30, so make sure to hop on around 6:30, 7 o'clock. I'll be going live. So that does it for me tonight, Laker fans. Hope you guys have a great